All right, guys, if you are interested in finding out about how I am gardening in this small space and what I'm doing to save money and eat much better, I've got a couple really special guests here today, so keep watching because all that's coming up next. Super stoked about today. I have two very special guests with me, and if you are into gardening already, then you probably know who these two guys are. I'm going to introduce them and give them a minute to kind of talk about what they do, and they're going to be helping me out today. I live in like a duplex community, so the houses are pretty small, space is pretty small. I don't have a lot of time. I've tried to garden in the past. Maybe you've seen some of my really early videos, and I just haven't been successful. I have the passion, I have the drive, but I lack the setup and the knowledge. So that's what these guys are here for. I brought in the big guns. Here we have Josh Cunnings with Boogie Brew. He's the founder and owner of that company. They have some really great organic products, and he's going to be talking to us today about some of the products that I'm going to be using here in the garden. And he's actually the reason why I have this YouTube channel. So I have a lot of thanks in my heart for him in helping me get this started and get my messages out to you guys.
No, you're the reason you have this YouTube channel. I told you you were a natural and that you should do it. So spend smart and live happy with Rachel. Yeah.
All right. So you want to just take a second and you tell them about your company and what you do?
Yeah, well, I came here actually with the other guests as we know him all too well, Mr. JK himself, and I'm having fun. It's an organic process. I'm learning too how to take a very modestly sized backyard in suburbia and build your own living food creating system within, some parameters are in her favor, like the sun and everything, and some parameters are, having to work around. And honestly, the master is here. He put it on a clipboard and had it ready within an hour, the plans, and then we just went and got the materials, and it was fun. And Leah's the owner. She's filming right now, so hats up to Leah, the real boogie boss who brought us here. And John is just, this is amazing that you're getting this. And this is a footprint for anyone watching this video. If this lady can do it, if she can spend smart and live happy with the infrastructure she's putting in and growing in some ways hospitable, climate and environment to grow in, and in some ways restrictive environment, and still grow a lot of our own food, then you guys can do this too in just about any corner of America, in any corner of the world. So I'm just proud of you for doing this and being a part of it. And as we go along, hopefully we'll do another little episode, right? And
I'm going to take you through on this journey because even though I did some earlier gardening videos, you only saw like the beginning stages. You didn't really see the end, and that's because they didn't get there. They all died. So this time I want to show you start to finish. I want to show you, how I'm harvesting and how I'm saving money, and it's going to be really, really awesome. So please join me on this journey. Our second guest here, John Kohler with Growing Your Greens. He has an online channel, a YouTube channel, Growing Your Greens, and you got to check it out. If you're into gardening, you might be able to learn some things here or there from me, but you will not learn anywhere near as much as you will learn from this guy. So if you want to take a second, just talk about your channel, what you do.
Sure, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel, Growing Your Greens, where I teach you guys how to grow food, and I just got onto this journey because I needed to. My failing health basically caused me to do dietary changes and to have higher quality food than money can buy at the grocery store. I started growing my own, and along the journey I just started making videos to teach people how to do it because I had to learn how to do it on my own. And so now I share that with you guys, and I have over 1,200 videos online now, over 50 million views, and over 370,000 subscribers. So I'd encourage you and invite you to be one of my subscribers and follow me and check out my gardening show. I make it really easy, really simple, so anybody, even if they've never gardened before, could grow some food. And yes, even at home in the winter if you live in New York City.
And you're going to be able to find links to both the Boogie Brew website as well as John's YouTube channel in the description box below. So please check that out because you don't want to miss these guys. It's good stuff.
Well, thank you, Rachel.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Products like the one we went to today wasn't on clearance, but the ones near my house, which is the other side of town, have these on clearance for half off. So right now, these should be like $6.50. And the green bags, this is the potting soil mix. We also got the vegetable garden planting mix right there. That should be $6. And in some place in California, I heard it's like $5 a bag.
I am proud to say this lady's doing this straight out of Home Depot. Straight out of Home Depot. If she can do this in suburbia at a Home Depot for $500, get a whole food system going, John. That's what it's all about. That's real power. And people spend $500 a year just on swimming pool chemical budgets or the things you spend money on. I mean, this is it. This is spending smart and living happy. This
got
is
some
really
wood.
excited.
Cool thing is, if you're not into construction, you don't have all the tools, right? Home Depot will cut the wood for you.
Yeah, that was
So
amazing.
this is 12-inch tall, so that's really the size I would recommend if you could afford the larger, more expense. And they cut it to the exact size I wanted it to, so that we don't really have to do any cutting. I brought my drill and whatnot. We could screw it. Irrigation is super critical, super important. All the irrigation stuff you guys need is at your local Home Depot, and I prefer actually Home Depot over Lowe's for the irrigation stuff because the Home Depot sells my favorite brand of drip irrigation, which is the Dig brand. So with any irrigation system, most important thing is an automatic controller. If you don't have an automatic controller for your irrigation system, I think you're literally wasting your money because then you have to manually turn it on and off. And part of the reason for the irrigation is to have it fully automatic, especially here in Las Vegas when we have 100-degree days. You have to do a couple watering cycles per day to keep the plant's roots cool so that the plants can transpire, and that's like us drinking water and then we perspire to cool ourselves off. The plants transpire. So this is a battery-operated Dig watering timer. This one you could do a 7-day watering calendar, and you could water from 1 to 12 hours in 1-minute intervals, and you could have 4 start times per day. This is super critical. This is the minimum that I would recommend to you guys. And this one actually just you could spin this on any water faucet, like the one in the back, sets up really easily. And if you could put a straw in a Coke and drink it, and I don't necessarily recommend drinking Coke, you could set up one of these guys. It's not rocket science, people. All right, so along with the watering timer, of course, we need a lot of the things to go along with it to hook in the watering timer. So the first thing I would recommend for you guys is Dig brand now has this actually kit here, which is nice. It's a raised bed drip watering kit. So this is by far the best value. I think this is about 30 bucks. But it comes with all these different parts that you guys are going to need. Here that we're putting in is so big, we had to get one other thing. We got 100 feet of the drip tubing, and this is the half-inch poly tubing, 0.700 OD. OD stands for outside dimension. We need a little Y connector that we're going to hook up onto the faucet as it comes out, so she can have a hose come out one side, and the drip emitter is going to always sit in the turned on position, so it could water at will. Other things we got some about 50 drip emitters for some of the plants that we'll be planting, and let's go. And then for some of the potted plants, we're going to run these guys up into them, which are basically these are adjustable drippers on a spike, so she could turn them off or turn them on a little bit to give the water to her potted plants. Then we got the stakes here that are very important to hold down the drip tubing into the soil. And of course, we got some 9-volt batteries to actually power the water irrigation. We're going to go ahead and put in a water filter. So I do encourage you guys, if you're taking the time to get good organic soil like we did, the Dr. Earth soil, you want to also spend some money. These guys are not expensive to get something like the Boogie Brew Plus inline water filter that's going to take out some of the nastiness in your water, such as the chlorine, that may negatively affect the soil microbiome or the bacteria.
Well, it took a long time yesterday going to a couple different stores, finding everything that we needed. You heard John talk about some of the different things that we picked up, and I just wanted to go ahead and show you this morning the backyard space as it is and what we're going to be working with today. Josh and John are scheduled to get here around 11 or so I'm just kind of hanging out, going to have my morning coffee, and get excited to get started. So let me go ahead and show you what we have to work with today, and then you'll be able to see what we do to get my backyard garden all set up for the new season. So this is the space. We're actually going to be doing some raised beds along this rock perimeter and moving probably this bed somewhere over here, I think is what John had planned. Honestly, I am deferring to his good judgment. Him and Josh are just so knowledgeable, and I'm super excited to see what they come up with to fix up my garden. But you can see this space over here. This bed's going to get abandoned, taken out. That was a terrible location. And we have all of our soil here, everything that we need really to go ahead and get started today. Keep watching and hopefully you'll get some ideas of what you can do in your garden.
built a box here, super simple, super easy. Home Depot will cut the wood for you. And now we're adding a good quality potting mix to the bed. If you don't remember anything else from this video, remember the soil quality that you're growing in is the most important thing. And I've seen many people buy poor quality bag products and then they have a terrible gardening experience because the soil that they're trying to grow in is really, really poor quality. Unfortunately, most bag products are poor quality. So I'm going to share with you guys my favorite bag products that actually are of decent quality. It's a Dr. Earth's brand. This is the Pot of Gold, and this is the all-purpose potting soil mix, and that's basically what a raised bed is. It's just a large, big, huge pot. Next, we're going to go ahead and add the vegetable gardening planting mix. So we do like one bag of this, one bag of this. We do some of the existing soil that was here that we're trying to just get rid of and mix that all in, and we're trying to blend as many different soil inputs from different sources as possible because that's going to give you the most fertility. Now, for added fertility, we're going to add a few things, including the azomite, which is basically granulated or micronized trace minerals. We've got two different kinds here. They're both good. Get the best, the kind that you could find near you. Most places aren't going to know what rock dust are, so you're going to have to actually maybe Google it, order it online if you could find it. And then that adds the trace minerals. This is super critical, super important. If you're just buying produce at the store, even organic produce, they're not adding up to 70 different trace minerals like we're adding here. So this will ensure your plants are going to be healthier, your plants will be more pest and disease resistant, your plants are going to taste better for you, and they're going to be more nutritious for you in the end. So literally, like comparing some high quality green beans out of your garden compared to green beans from the store, they could taste significantly better, have almost twice as much protein, and over twice the amount of certain minerals. This means you could actually eat this half as amount of food to get the same nutrition from the store-bought food, and this is one of the main benefits I see of the gardening and growing your own food. Of course, finally, we need something very important to activate the rock dusts. These don't just get taken up by the plants on their own. We got this is a worm castings that we got in bulk here, Worm Gold worm castings, and that has the bacteria, the microbes, the fungi that are actually going to go in and break down the organic matter in the soil and break down the minerals and make them plant available. So in this way, guys are going to be able to grow the healthiest crops and have the healthiest plants, so it's going to make your job as a gardener much easier.